Dad Coach Zoe here, and this is your functional strength workout. It's 24 minutes long, full body, all body weight. You need no equipment. Let's get started off with our jumping jacks. What's going to make this workout functional strength is we're going to work in movement patterns that we will see and feel in everyday life. That way, as we get older, we stay strong. Good, and let's knock out some butt kicks. Good, and let's start taking those butt kicks side to side, kind of like a slow speed skater. Good, and all the way full speed skater now. Good, all right, let's take it up, feet together, arms overhead. We're gonna hinge forward and squat down. I shouldn't say feet together, but hip width apart. Good, keeping those arms up. Let's step back with lunges. Good, all right, from there, let's take a nice wide stance. Do a few sumo squats. We have some lateral work today, so opening up those inner thighs. Functional strength, we're gonna work in all movement patterns, rotational, lateral, forward and backward. Using our core, full body movements, exercises, all right, that replicate the things we do in everyday life. All right, from here, find the edge of your mat. We're gonna walk those hands out to a plank, arm circle, and then walk it back in. Stand up tall. Arm circle, walk it back in, stand up tall. One more time. Hold that plank. Let's see some knee tucks. Nice and controlled. Good, shoulder taps, drawing that belly in. We're here for 3, 2, 1, on your feet. Okay, so today's workout's gonna work in a mostly lower body, then mostly upper, and then core exercise. 45 seconds of each, 15 seconds of rest in between. That is all you get. First circuit, lateral lunge, narrow squat. Let's begin. So we're gonna step out with that lateral lunge, drive up with the bent leg, and come up down with a squat. Let's go. So again, lateral lunge, step up, and a narrow squat. So your narrow squat can be as deep as you can make it. It can also be as narrow as you can make it. So if it hurts your knees to have them really close together, open it out a little bit. If you can't get super deep, that's fine. Try to hit parallel. So again, we're driving from that bent leg. Often we're going back, right? But we're standing straight up. A little bit more work that we're doing here from that bent side. So again, 45 seconds for each exercise and rest. Just 15 seconds, really just a transition period. Just enough time. All right, so next we have a push-up to Superman. So you'll be on your bellies, you'll lift everything up. Superman, come up with your push-up. Let's get started. Superman, push-up. This is a great exercise if you are a knee push-up person, because your knees are already on the ground. If not, you can still keep it strict. You just really have to take your heels back behind you. Draw those bellies in. So flexion and extension through the spine. All right, we're gonna flip it over to our backs. Move my mic here. Flip it over to our backs. We have starfish, so we're gonna be nice and wide. Come up, touch the opposite hand to foot. Let's begin. If you cannot get up onto your bottom, this is okay too. Just make sure you're at least getting those shoulder blades off the ground. All right, and back on your feet. So that was round number 1 of our circuit. We're gonna go through a second time. So back to that lunge and squat. This time, try to stay a little bit bent at the hips. All right, let's go. So try not to come up all the way. It's gonna create a little more time under tension. Make it a little more challenging. Oftentimes, we're squatting down with our knees closer together, right? Cleaning stuff off the floor. Playing with your kids, your dogs, and rest. Okay, back to that floor. We're going right back to our push-up to Superman. So again, if you're gonna do the strict Superman, before you press up with your hands, lock those knees out. Let's begin. Make sure you get your thighs and chest off the ground. 'Good, and rest. All right, back over onto your back. We're up for our starfish. So again, feel a little bit of space between your legs and a wide grip in those arms. Coming all the way off the floor. You don't have to keep your legs straight, but do your best. Let's begin. Because the straighter your legs are, the more you have to reach, the more core work you have to do. Seconds left. And rest. All right, moving on to circuit number 2, no long break. So we're gonna do step ups. You can use a stool if you'd like, or just do standard reverse lunges. But we're gonna start in this kneeling position. Step up to both feet, step back down. Let's go. Alternate the legs that you step up and down with. If you need to put a little blanket or towel under your knees, that's fine. But we're keeping our feet flexed at the bottom, so that will protect your knees. Again, functional strength, so something that we have to do if we're sitting on the ground. How do you gotta get back up, right? It's important to do some of these more awkward moves. Keeps your joints healthier, and rest. All right, next we're moving on. We have a high-low plank. So super simple, on your hands, then down on your forearms. Alternating, drawing that belly in at all times. Let's begin. Rest. All right, so just lay all the way down on your belly. Arms are out long, legs are together long. We're gonna lift everything up Superman style. You're gonna lift that chest even higher as you swivel open. Bring it back together and lower down. Let's go. So up, open, together, down. If you want a little more challenge, you could just stay elevated the whole time, right? But lowering down gives your spine just a little bit of a break. So if this is already intense for you, might be the better option. And rest. All right, back up onto our seats. Again, tuck those toes underneath. It's gonna keep your knees protected, your feet flexed. Back to our step ups, let's go. Try to push that pace, right? Get those reps in. Again, this is our strength workout, so there shouldn't be much cardio involved. Obviously, when we're working multiple muscle groups, you're gonna feel your heart work a little harder. Rest. All right, back down to your feet, or back down to your feet, back down to your hands. On the ground, we have our low to high plank next. If you need to adjust it right from your tabletop, preferably a modified plank, let's go. So this is round number 2 of this circuit, then we're moving on. Rest. All right, get ready to rock. Back on our bellies. I don't know where I thought I was going. Get ready, we have our snow angel. So again, up, open, together, down, or just back and forth. Do our swivel. Let's go. All right, circuit number 3, moving on. Get onto your bottom. From here, we're gonna plant those hands behind us, feet out in front about hip width. We're gonna lift up, reverse table bridges. Let's begin. To make it a little harder, you can alternate and do one leg at a time, or you can keep both feet planted. All right, so we're working the glutes here. We're getting more range of motion, and we're forcing those shoulders to still work. Push down, something we don't often do. Push down while they're rotated. So it's a little bit of a mobility challenge in your shoulders. If your shoulders are tight, keep your chest open and rest. All right, we're gonna go back to our bellies for a low plank reverse fly. So we're gonna hold a low plank and we're gonna reverse fly. Okay, really simple. Holding your low plank, reverse fly it out. Let's go. Alternate sides. Pull your belly in. I like to keep a little wider stance on my feet. And try not to let your hips rotate. Try to imagine that there's a glass or a plate of food on your low back, and we don't want it to fall off. Good. Back onto your bottom. So that one's challenging, right? Really engaging the core. Shoulders are up again. Need to maintain a good mobility here. And then we're working that back while we're pushing away. So push and pull. Folding chairs on your bottom, knees into chest. Kick it out and lean back. So your hands are really for balance. Almost there. And rest. I just stay right where you are. We're going back to the top again. Reverse table bridge. So, boom, feet hip width, hands are out in front of you, or down behind you. Let's go. Again, single style, alternating, or both feet planted. It's like a little bonus core work when we switch those feet. This move is like the opposite of sitting. Right? We're extending the hips, working the glutes, and pressing backwards behind us.
You look great, I like you, I can't wait. Our first time, our first date. You're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight.
And rest. All right, back to our plank. Again, low plank, and we're gonna reverse fly. So since we're alternating again, don't let your hips rock side to side. We're trying to stabilize with the core. Let's go.
I'm falling fast, sitting here praying that this night's gonna last. You got it all on tap, I'm loving your vibe, always have your back. We like all the same tracks, listen all night in the sheets all black. Said I'm falling fast, don't remember life before you, that's fact. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. Our first time, our first date. You're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight.
Good, and rest. Back to your bum.
I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall.
Again, onto our folding chair. Hands behind us. Let's begin. Knees in the chest. Lean and kick. Woo. 10 seconds. And rest. All right, back up to your feet. Last circuit. We're gonna finish standing. We have a single leg deadlift to a single leg squat. So we're gonna stay all on one side for the first round, and then we'll switch it over. Stagger your stance. We have single leg deadlift, single leg squat. So this front leg is doing all the work. I'm hinging, right? A little bit of a bend in the knee as I do my deadlift. And that squat, I'm keeping my chest high. Again, this back foot is really just a kickstand, right? It's really just there for balance. 15 seconds left. Good. All right, back on the floor. We have an agility plank. So instead of with our feet, running our feet around, we're gonna run those hands. So we're gonna go up, down, out, in. I'll come at an angle for you. Let's get started. Up, up, down, down, out, out, and in. All right, pull that belly in. Again, make sure those hips aren't moving all around. All right, and lead with the other hand. If that's too confusing, just keep going. On your feet, let's go. All right, next we have windmills. So typically, all right, we're doing this with a weight. This is unweighted. So you're gonna reach up nice and high overhead. Other arm is down at your side. Since we're unweighted, you can keep an L shape and reach forward with that hinge. Let's get started. So we'll switch halfway. If not, you're just touching the ground. This is through a hinge, right? So I'm still hinging my hips back, just like a deadlift. You'll notice whatever arm is in the air, that hip is gonna feel like it's going back farther. That's perfectly fine. Switch sides. Good, and rest. All right, last round, final circuit, single leg squat and deadlift. So my left leg was back to start. So I'm gonna switch, again, this angle here so you can see. So staggered stance, let's begin. Deadlift and a squat. This front leg is doing all of the work. My back leg is just there for balance. So single leg, deadlift and squat makes it functional, right, is the one side. next is our agility plank. So again, up, up, down, down, out, out, in. What I meant by leading was if you're going like this, lead with that other hand. Let's go. Again, put that plate on your low back. Make sure those hips aren't turning. And switch lead hand if you are doing it. And rest. Back on your feet, finishing off with our windmill. So again, it's going to be a hinge, but whichever side is down, it's going to be a little less hinge. So you'll notice that knee's going to poke out a little bit more. That's okay. Let's get started. Again, half and half. Oh, I forgot to switch us. Switch. Bonus round. Good, and rest. All right, you guys, that is it. Let's go through our cool down. So let's just walk it out with some arm circles. If you enjoyed this workout, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if there's something else you want to see. I will do my best to make that happen. Woo! And please subscribe. That way you can join me every time that I post a new workout. We can sweat together. We can stay strong together. Good, and arm circles with a hip circle. Good, all right, from there, just reach down. Dynamic stretch, do a hinge. Whew. All right, and big step forward into a deep lunge, opening up the hip flexor, switch sides. All right, you guys, that is it. Thank you so much for joining me. Stay strong, stay tough.